Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Studio Rats Live Q&A number 178. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And
I've got a new toy.
Got new toys.
I've got a new toy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at that.
What he's actually got is his son behind the camera following him. He hasn't bought a new toy at all.
I wish she was that good. She was that good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm a bit dazed this week. I'm having one of those weeks. but it's all good. Busy, which is always good. But traditionally, we start with you, mate. What have you been up to?
That's a good question. What have I been up to? I've been doing lots of reviews. There's been some new. There's some new products coming out. There's been some products coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some products that have already come out that I couldn't talk about last week. We can talk about now.
Yep.
Yeah, not a lot. What about yourself?
Well, I went to Paris on Friday for the weekend.
Nice.
For work, not for fun. Not that work isn't fun, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Got back on Monday, still desperately trying to get the rest of the studio finished before Christmas, and so can get everything out of the living room. Yeah. So been a bit in that. Been also trying to finish some stuff for Antelope and do some new content for TSR and stuff. Really, just busy, and then of course today, halfway through the day, I get the phone call. Can you come and get Lucy?
Mate, that's so, you got two. You got to deal with.
Yes,
every week if it's my family.
So the joy of I won't get any work done today then because I had little person sprawled out. I'm fine, Daddy. I'm fine. If they sent you home from school, you're not fine.
Well, did she want to come home from school, or did she? Because that's what kids do. The kids are like, I don't feel very well, and then they get home, and then they start running around.
Of course, it's amazing. It's an amazing healing elixir that is home.
It is.
But it's all good. It's all good. We're in a good place. We're in a beautiful place. The heating's on. The fire was lit. It's a beautiful thing. I tell you what, though. They're threatening snow this weekend, and I can quite believe it.
It's freezing, isn't it? It's not freezing out there.
So we hope you all out there in Ratland, if that's a real place, it should be, are well and are safe and warm and all that sort of stuff. We will charge our way through things, but we've guests in the show already. Craziness after last week. It's like they knew we were coming.
Yeah.
So I'm going to invite Rafa in to start us off. Here we go. Now, boom, go.
There he is. Hello, mate.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me once again. I promise not to be as talkative as last time. I felt like I was just too excited. But I was so excited at this time. I was like, oh, it's Wednesday at 8 p.m. Since I cannot make my YouTube go anywhere, I'm just going to hijack theirs.
You're very welcome, mate. How can we help? How can we assist? Or what do you want to get off your musical chest?
So I have a query for you once again, which is I was watching Glenn Freaker's pickup comparison. I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch from a couple of weeks ago, where he puts 4 different guitars. To be honest, I'm not a fan. I get a bit tired of all the Gibson. It's like there's nothing to relate to Gibson on that guitar. I know you're trying to play the YouTube game, but that was recommended by a friend. So it's low distortion, so just like normal overdrive, nothing to distort. It's something that we can all appreciate. And it's a Les Paul, Gibson Les Paul, a PRS EM with AMGs, a HSS Strat, and a Harley Benton, the Goto double cut. And the test is you hear the 4 guitars blind in the first video, and you have to try to figure out what is what, and just by the sound of it. So do you think it was like what's your experience of recording? Because of recording guitars, how much of a difference does it actually make?
Okay, I did see this video.
Okay, because I'm just filming in. How distorted was it?
Not chug 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 chug.
Not as normal.
A bit more than Paul Drew clean on the verge of breakup, but not serious EVH 5150 high gain.
Okay, I think it depends what sort of style of music you're doing. The pickups definitely make a difference, without a doubt. And there's definitely, you'd pick up one guitar and play a certain guitar part, and you would go, no, that doesn't work in the track. But yeah, I think pickups make a difference.
So I think from having seen the video and watched it, and then seen the second part, the answers video, if you like. What it did was it said that people can't tell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
It said that people can't tell if they're looking at a Strat and they're hearing a Strat, they can tell. If they're not looking at a Strat and they hear a Strat and someone says, "Oh, that's the PRS," they can't tell. Now,
well, hold on a second. Were they all humbuckers, or were they all? They were all humbuckers. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're not going, well, this particular track needs single coil, so we'll do that. No, yeah, there's not. I don't think there's a massive amount of difference. The only thing is, I think I could definitely tell the difference between EMGs and I don't know anything.
The interesting thing was there was a difference. You could, when they played the 4 takes, and the guy, it wasn't Glenn playing, and I'm not going to joke because God, my guitar playing. I've been the guitar player out there who's had abuse, so no one needs that. But Glenn's the first to admit he's not first call guitar player. So they got a guitarist in who was a very tasty player and very consistent, which is far more important for this sort of test.
Right.
And it's interesting. The truth of the matter is, and I think it doesn't matter whether you're playing a £10,000 custom shop, an original 1959 Les Paul, or a Harley Benton. The truth of the matter is, these days, all guitars sound pretty bloody good. And it comes down to you as a player, whether you can feel the difference between a 59 burst and a Harley Benton versus an HSS Strat versus I think it's more down to the player than it is down to the listener.
Yeah, maybe. So. Yeah.
And sorry, I was just gonna say that I actually found out that of those 4 takes, the one that I usually thought was the better guitar was actually the AMGs. It was the one that it sounded fuller and more rounded and more like pleasant. And then eventually it was the
I like AMGs.
And I consistently swapped around the Harley Benton by the Gibson Les Paul. The Gibson Les Paul it was the one that I thought, this doesn't sound as good. I'm going to put as Harley Benton on my cheat sheet. And it was actually the
yeah. But that's a lot of fun, though. But yeah, I like EMGs get a lot of stick, and I like EMGs.
And they're not all the same as well. I don't know that specific ones, what they are, but yeah, it was really interesting.
I think were they not the standard? Were they not the standard 81 EMGs? It was sort of classic.
I don't think they went to that much detail. I think it was just we've got some active EMGs.
Okay, they were active. Okay, yeah.
But I just think it was interesting. I think it proves what we and many outlets have been saying, that actually I'll throw it down there. Cheap guitars, as in inexpensive, are now really good if you shop smart.
Yeah.
The Jets, the Harley Benton, there are some great guitars out there. Yes, they might need a tweak by someone who knows what they're doing with an Allen key and a setup file or whatever. But actually, there are some really good guitars out there for next to no money. However, if you are someone who wants to go and buy a 59 burst, crack on. I've got a book for you if that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. Right.
Would I like a selection of vintage, legendary guitars? Of course I would. Can I afford it? Nah, I'll go with what I've got.
Are you hanging around for a bit?
Yeah, I'm happy to hang around. I took out the time, so I just
hang around
on your toes.
No, mate. No, it's always good to have someone else that is involved in questions as well. So it's always good. It's always good. Right. Let's do some.
Let's go. Here we go. Boom.
Nav said, "Good evening, rats. Hope everyone is warm and well. Do I need a compressor to play the old Dire Straits songs? Mind you, never used one before. That's an interesting thought. No, I wouldn't say you need a compressor.
You don't need.
I didn't know that. I don't think Mark Knopfler ever used a compressor, did he?
I mean, the Sultans of Swing sound does sound very compressed, but
I've never thought of it as a compressed sound, but I guess it is. But that might be post.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Try it. I mean,
I've never looked at
that. Yeah. It might have been post-processed compression rather than into amp.
Yeah.
As you
Give me 2 seconds. Keep talking. I'm going to have a look. I'm just going to have a look.
I'm going to keep going. Johnny Love says the 2006 Rory Gallagher Strat in the Gardner Hallgate auction made me chuckle. Made me sneeze. There's so little lacquer on the finish, it hardly seems worth adding it. But yes, I understand it's a replica.
Mark Knopfler used a compressor.
There you go.
Dan Armstrong on a tweezer. I mean, and that's so funny. I never thought of Mark Knopfler using a compressor, and you think back now, and of course he did. It's just like that sound. It is that sound, isn't it? Yeah, the Rory Gallagher. That is the look of that guitar, though. So that came out the factory like that.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? He came out of the factory looking like it had done 25 million miles around the earth.
Yeah. I like the look of that Rory Gallagher.
I like it, but I like Rory Gallagher as a player as well.
I don't know much of his stuff. I don't know much of his stuff.
I'll lend you an album or two. Not that you need to. Do you remember when you used to lend people albums?
What, you going to lend me a CD? I haven't got a CD player anymore, mate. I don't know how you can lend it.
I have one on the car. In the car, I have the CD player. That's where I get the CDs from.
Gosh.
Kilby by Rory Gallagher is a good shout.
Yeah. Right. So...
now I'm getting confused. Where are we? Hang on, there's a whole load there. Don't need to get rid of
Vinny wants to come in. Vinny wants to come in. So
I'm just going to get rid of. I'm just going to get to where we are because I put a whole load of extra stuff in there. Boom. Right. Let's go. Vinny's in transit, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Vinny's in the car.
Yeah, I'm parked.
Good. Because I'd hate to be the result of an RTA.
Yeah. I was listening in while I was driving, and I'm like, oh man, they're talking about the pickups not matter and stuff. I'm like, I gotta jump in on this one.
Jump in.
Go for it.
All right, so here's my theory, because I have a ton of them, whether right or wrong or indifferent, is that it may not matter in the end of the mix, but I think most guitar players, what they're forgetting, especially with some of those videos that some of those guys put out, is you have to understand that one guy's putting it out from a producer mixing kind of guy's point of view at the end of the chain, the end of the result. My thing is that the pickups do matter, because when you're playing, you're at the beginning of the chain. You are the beginning of the chain. Your ears are the beginning of the chain. And I can tell you from low wind humbuckers, if I want to get a certain level of overdrive, I have to kick in maybe an extra pedal to boost to get to that sound that I want, where another guitar with more powerful humbuckers or maybe have more harmonics might not take that extra boost to get there. So if it didn't matter, then any humbucker would do the same thing with any pedals at any time. And that's just not true. Not true.
Yeah, that I agree with.
And I don't think the argument is that all pickups are the same. It is for functional, like you're saying, from a producer's point of view, or like for a functional point of view, most pickups, unless they are broken, they sound musical enough. Which reminds me of a point. That is, a lot of us that have several guitars, then we try to put the same guitar through the same rig, different guitars through the same rig, and expect pleasant results every single time. And that's not always possible. So like you're saying, sometimes you need to add EQ, sometimes it's a different pedal, sometimes it's the amp that needs more adjustment. And obviously, if you take a guitar that is voiced a certain way and played through the rig as it was, it might not be as pleasant. So it then takes the tone shaping ability to get to that point.
Right, I totally 100% will agree with you. And I think sometimes some of those videos are taken out of the context. They're not understanding the real message of what the person's trying to say, you know. And I don't believe in making fun of people and downgrading people and saying they can't hear things as good as anybody else. I don't think that that's proper on how to act with stuff, in my opinion, you know. I think everybody's got a different way of hearing things, and what works for you works for you. I mean, I could just tell you right now, not that I'm trying to prop any of my stuff, but I posted the vid of the new Relic guitar that I was telling you guys about last week.
Mm-hmm.
My God, the level of hate. James, and you were saying this the other day about the Relic thing. I think I didn't understand the level of hate. I had to delete some messages. People were sending me some really nasty stuff over it. And
really, what were they saying?
Just like one guy was, you know, some I left on there because they weren't cursing or anything crazy, but just the normal ones were like, "Oh, you paid extra money to have somebody F up your guitar. You couldn't do it yourself." You know, like all, and you know, and then some other, and so one guy asked me, like, honestly, I don't understand it. Explain it to me. So I said, okay, honestly, I said I like the thinner finish. I think the guitar resonates better. I think it resonates better than a poly finish, my opinion. I says I'm OCD, and I think it makes me want to play the guitar more instead of hanging it up like a trophy guitar. So I get my money's worth out of the instrument. I said, but that's me, you know. I said, you know, and so he was like, thank you for the honest thing. He's like, that's the first time anybody's honestly answered that question that I have. Rightfully so. Cool debate, cool, you know, interaction. But one guy was like just totally insulting me and saying like, who do you think you are? And all this other stuff, and I'm just like, what did I do? All I did was show a Fender custom shop Relic, you know. I mean, God.
If you're getting, I mean, I get it every time. I either get people that say they love it or they hate it. I never really get anything that nasty, but yeah, it's just like people are dicks. But anyway, can I show you something? Because I watched that video. I did send you a message.
Most of the time, most of the time, people are actually jealous. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. It's envy and jealousy, and it's a horrible thing to say out loud. But we live in a world of jealousy and envy, and it's crap. I can see how, personally, I can see how it can be inspirational. You know, I look at some of Paul's guitars and I go, "Oh, I really want that one." I don't go that shit because it's not mine.
I know people just need to mind their own business. It doesn't matter. It's but did you get my message that I sent you, Vinny?
Oh, I got something that's got like a little bird on it.
I'll send you a message. Yeah, no, that's cool. I'll send you a little message on Facebook Messenger. But let me show you something. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, that's the rock and roll relics that's listed. I saw that. Love it.
Oh God! Because I saw your one, I went, "Oh, I like that," and then I started doing a bit of research. This one came out. How great is that?
There was a green one on a couple of weeks ago, and I almost jumped on. I told my wife, I'm like, look at this one, man. I'm like, this green cracked finish on the top of this rock and roll relics looks awesome. And I said, this isn't going to last if I don't jump on it. And I waited 24 hours, it was gone. So
look at that.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that looks killer. But that's just me, man. I don't know. And you know what? If you would have asked Vinny 15 years ago whether I liked that or not, I might have said no. You know, really? I don't know. I just maybe 20 years ago. I don't know. Time flies, but maybe I wouldn't have liked it. I don't know. But you know, lately I dig that. I mean, within the last 10 or 15 years, I like that look of that. I don't know. It's just I think it's cool.
So the four of us that are here, whether you like relics or not is one thing. But do we only like relics on, let's say, traditional styled guitars, Strats, Tellys, Les Pauls?
Oh,
how would a Super Strat look reliced?
Yeah, I don't know, like an Ibanez.
Like a gem. Could you imagine a gem, a reliced gem?
Yeah,
I've thought about this probably for longer than I should have, but I think that the only people that are sort of entitled to hate relics are guys that are regulars, are professional musicians that do the touring, and feel that the way that their guitars present is part of their history. Like, this guitar is relic because I've played so many hours on it that this is like my CV. If anyone sees me on stage and sees that the guitar is like this, they're going to assume that I've spent thousands of hours on this guitar, which is indeed fact. And then some poser, let's say, comes on stage like on a jam night or something with a relic, and then it's like, and you think like,
that sounds like my gig.
The sweat, blood, and tears to like, and this is like proof of that, and that person is using the same sort of level of proof, and they just paid more for it. I think those are the only people that are entitled to say anything, and in that case, I'll just shut my case.
But the closest thing I've seen to a reliced Ibanez gem, for example, is the ones that Steve Vai uses on tour, because they are the original ones, and they've been played to within an inch of their existence.
right.
I think if it was a gem, I mean, you've got to think of a guitar. There's no point in having a polyfinished relic. It looks shit. It looks awful. Yeah, it looks awful. It's a bad. You can't. To me, actually, your Raf, you did yours. Your one actually looked all right, but the normal polyfinished relic normally looks terrible. It just chips. It's just chipped. Well, like Sir do relics. Sir do like their Super Strat relics. Okay, it's still a stratty sort of shape. They don't look good because the Sir relic jobs aren't good.
I had one.
Huh?
I had one. I had a Sir relic.
What did you think?
Heavy relic. It looked like it got caught in a fire. And,
yeah,
and
shots fired. Shots fired.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It looked, yeah. I don't know.
It looks weird, doesn't it? It looks like that's because they don't know. But that rock and roll relics. I mean, I know nothing about rock and roll relics, so I hadn't heard of them really until I saw your one. So the only thing I'd buy that, I think that just looks awesome. That the one that's for sale in the UK. The only thing is that I'm afraid that I'm just buying something that is in 2 years' time is going to be worth nothing.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get your money back on it. I'm not really sure, because like when you go to resell, people want Fender Gibson.
Yeah.
You know, I had a guy say about my '69 custom shop relic that I just got. He made a comment, rightfully so. He said, well, if that was a true '69, which I know it's not because it was built in 2023, but he's like, if it was a true '69, it would have a Gibson humbucker in the bridge. And I'm like, fair enough. I'm old enough to understand that. I said, but here's the deal. Fender's not going to put a Gibson pickup in their guitar. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? That doesn't make good market sense.
Yeah.
There are people out there who will say words for the sake of saying words.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I don't think people don't need to say anything. It's just like some people, if you don't like it, don't comment. It's right. If you like something, great. If you don't like something, don't comment.
It's a classic case of, and this is about as far away from guitar as you can possibly get. When someone says, please let us know if you have an allergic reaction to peanuts or whatever, right? And what should happen is, unless there is someone who has an allergic reaction to peanuts in that thread, no one should say anything. But what happens is everyone says, I'm okay. No, I'm fine. You go, no, they didn't ask that. They didn't ask if you were okay. They asked if you had a problem with it. Sorry, this is proper high horse stuff for me now.
Well, getting back to the rock and roll relics, Paul, if you can get one for a good price, like I got mine for a good price, and you're not worried about the resale of it, then I would say jump on it. If you're going to buy it for an investment, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got mine for a deal, and you know, I don't. I hate saying like I'm going to keep it, but I feel like I'm going to keep it. So.
Oh, that sounded great, that guitar. If you don't keep it, you got to save it until NAMM, and I'll take it off you.
Okay. Yeah, I figured I
And
would send you that clip so this way you could see up close what it looked like. I when I was showing you last time, you couldn't see nothing in that video footage. So.
Yeah, it looks really good.
All right. Well, listen, I'll let you guys go.
I thought I was on the booze, but this is serious stuff.
What the hell are you drinking, mate? What is that?
Other camera.
This should be a product placement. This is brought to you by Licor Beirão, which is a Portuguese liquor.
Oh. All right.
It's herbs and spices and things.
Ah, nice, nice.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys chat, and I will try to tune in next week.
As you give it.
Cheers, Benny. Take care, mate.
Best of everything. Take care.
See you soon.
See you later, mate.
Right, where are we?
Well, there's a start to the evening's merriment.
Yeah.
Right, Al's in the house.
He says, "Evening, gents. Hope all is well, and to you, Al." Daniel says, "Good evening from sunny yet cold, -6 degrees this morning, North Carolina." Hey, that is cold. Mr. Moxie says, "Evening, gents. Coffee poured, feet up. Let's geek out." Coffee.
I think we've started the geekery, that's for sure.
Oh God, yeah. Electric Al works. I've got my camera stuck right in front of my screen. Need to move it. Hold on.
It's like kind of.
He says, "Greetings, these studio rats, all from South Wales, New York, USA. Hope everyone is well." Chaz, hope you're well too, mate. South Wales. There's a South Wales in New York as well.
There's a reason it's called New York.
South Wales. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shep, he said, "Evening all, evening, Shep." Jeff says, "Happy Thursday morning from Brisbane. It's heading for a hottish day. 33 on the last day of spring. Hope everyone's well." So jealous. What I'd love to do, I'd love to be in the UK during summer because I love the UK in summer, and then just pop over there for winter, for autumn and winter, and then come back in spring. And
I'd rather go to Brazil if you're just moving to the south.
Yeah, but you speak the lingo, mate. You speak the lingo.
To be honest, I would do California. So I was speaking to Steve last night, our buddy in Los Angeles, about hooking up and stuff. And I'm sat in my living room, with a fleece on and a blanket, kind of watching telly, and he's there in shorts and a t-shirt. I'm like, I could do Los Angeles for 3 months of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice. Mod Scientist says, "Hello, gents. Hello, Mod." It's a cool Eddie picture. I haven't seen that Eddie picture. It's good, isn't it, that one? Like that. Phil, good evening, rats from Bracklesham Bay. Evening, Phil. Hope you're well. David Ashcroft said, "My favourite time of the week, evening from chilly Whirlwind Garden City." It's well in, isn't it? Why is it Whirlwind when it's well in? I don't understand that. Electric Owl, he says, "Jeff Cook, wow, we're about 50 k south of Buffalo, New York, USA, where it's -2. We've just got 0.5 meter of snow.
Wow,
we're expecting better snowage."
We are due snow. It's quite funny because it's 3 cheer weekends on the bounce in November, December, and about 3 years ago, we pretty much lost the day of the Sunday of the weekend competition because of snow. And the competition is called Winter Wonderland, and we're expecting snow this weekend. So
there we go. Steve, he says, "Good evening from tropical Dundee in Scotland." Evening, Steve. Hope you're well.
I've never heard Dundee called tropical.
Yeah, it's a pub. It's a pub called Tropical.
David says, "Good afternoon from Eugene, Oregon, USA." Nice. Good afternoon, David. Mod says, "FYI, thank you for everything that you do." Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
And he then
says,
that's
cheers. That's reminded me. Oh God, shut up, lol. Is that us?
Probably.
By the way, guys, it really frickerisms.
There's a phrase I haven't heard before.
Frickerisms. Yes, guys. By the way, if you're enjoying this, God knows why you are, but give us a like and a thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. It really does help.
Like, subscribe, all that jazz.
All that sort of crap. Yes.
Hang on, I'm lost. Hang on. God, I had it. Hang on. There we go. Boom. There we go.
Mississippi, he says, evening the Studio Rats and took advantage of the Black Friday sales and picked up the Jam Pedals Warco and the Double Dreamer. Nice one. I've got both of those. Very good. Nice. Very good. Both of them.
Did you get anything in the Black Friday sales?
Yeah, I bought that same drill that you did.
Oh, we're so rock and roll.
And I bought a memory card for my new camera.
Did you not buy the new camera?
No, because it's new out. It's not in the sale.
All right, okay, in the sales, right?
Brand spanking.
Did you see the Line 6 catalysts heavily discounted? Like
I bet.
The 200s was 199 on PMT, and the 100 was 150, and the 60 was like even less. Was really discounted.
Wow.
And I have one, not from this thing, but I have a 212 that is just standing here that I had to change the speakers because the stock speakers are so. I hate this amp. I hate it with a passion because of how I got it. I traded a Vox AC30, the new production ones, because it had a little rattle and it was very heavy and it's like just one sound. And I thought I'm just using this basically for the power amp because I can never turn it up. So I'm gonna turn it in the shop for this Catalyst 200. It can't be that bad.
It is.
It is.
Oh.
Is it? Is it that bad?
It's the fizz in the high end. There's something on the preamp software because I changed the speaker, so it's not the speakers that are farting out. And when I use the Helix through the power amp in, it's fine. But basically, I paid for a cab and a power amp. At the end of the day.
Mate, feel fine.
Yeah, not great.
Tried
Not
the
great.
Katana? Have you tried a Katana?
I had a Katana and I tried a Katana, and I would say that the Katana is better.
Right.
In my opinion. It's more reliable, has more usable sounds. It's just better in my opinion.
Oh, mate. Jeff says, electric Galworks. The last time it snowed in Brisbane was during the Ice Age. Keith Richards is the only one I remember.
We are being joined by greatness from every angle this evening. Please welcome Matt to the show.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey, buddy.
Oh, Matt.
hello, you all right?
Yes. Yourself, mate, you all right?
Yeah, no, very good to see you. And I haven't been on been watching. I've to watch a live thing for about a month, and I'm pleased to be back. It's lovely to see you all.
Mate, it's lovely to see that guitar over your left shoulder as well.
Well, you were talking about relics. This one.
Look at that.
So this is an original 66.
Oh.
So I'm not, and you can kind of see the. Now I have had a few little incidents with a certain band manager that will remain nameless, where they dropped it on stage.
Oh.
But
that you can replace that. You could get a replacement, I'm sure, of those.
You can get. I mean, it still tunes fine. I mean, it stays in tune incredibly well, and I actually it was out of phase. When they made these guitars, the pickups are deliberately out of phase because they're stereo, which meant that you when you played it normally, it sounded horrific unless you dialed one of the volumes back slightly, then it would click into phase. So anyway, I took it to ATB Guitars, and they reversed one of the pickups for me, so now it's in phase perfectly, and it's amazing. It roars.
Great.
So great. And the varitone on it actually works really well now it's in phase. You can kind of just filter out some of the bottom end, so you can get all sorts of tones with it. It's wonderful. But,
awesome.
Yeah,
it doesn't look that heavy as well, the way you're holding it, unless you're really strong.
I'm out of breath now. No, I wanted to say, I know that some of the people off your channel have followed my
brand new kind of channel that I've been starting out, and I want to say thanks. I hit 1,000 subscribers today, and
oh, well done, mate. It's great.
You know, and for anyone that's tried YouTube, I know you are hearing about the comments and everything. It's really hard work, and it can be quite an isolated existence because you're having to do everything yourself. So yeah, I completely agreed with what you said. If people haven't got anything better to do than criticize, then
I did a live stream. Was it last week or the week before? Before on a Wednesday, it was a Wednesday afternoon thing. I did it with Justin Coletti on Sonic Scoop. And you know, I know I've been doing this crazy YouTube thing for a while. Obviously, the Rats is a relatively new thing, but I was described as one of the OGs of online mixing tuition. I was like, really? And he said, I think you've been doing this longer than I have. And I was like, well, I definitely haven't made as much bloody money as you have doing it.
So what's the name of the channel, Matt? Because I don't follow you yet, and I would like to
it's Distant Sun Studios. It's basically my channel's about the recording software Luna. So I tend to do that, and I know we've had some amusing comments on here about Pro Tools and their tax. Well, I did a video this last weekend that I put up called Luna Pro Tools Killer, something like that, on the thumbnail, and it's the most successful video I've ever launched.
I did see that thumbnail a few days ago. I didn't click on it because I was like, I'm going to save this for later. But I did see it actually. Now that you mention,
it's bizarre because it's like the first kind of really, well, not negative, but you know, sort of slightly controversial thing I put up, and the view count's just gone through the roof. It had 2,000 views a day, and I've had over 100 subscribers in 3 days, which is ridiculous. I normally get 15 a week.
That's great. That's really good.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I came on because last time I was here, I showed my matchless amplifier, which I said I was keeping forever, and that was it.
And you've now sold it.
And I got rid of it. And it's not because that amplifier isn't phenomenal. It is, but actually with that guitar, it didn't sound great. It's the wrong kind of matchup, I suppose. And I've talked to Paul about this a lot before, but I kind of always knew that my favorite circuit was a deluxe, a black panel deluxe. So anyway, I thought I should just get on with it and get myself a proper black panel deluxe. So that's what I've done. So that's just see it. Is that's in nice
condition, isn't it?
So yeah, so that's a real 1966 deluxe.
Wow, that's an amazing condition.
Yeah, and it sounds unbelievable. I mean, I've actually got it today, but when you plug your guitar into it, if you just turn the reverb up slightly, and you know, you can be Dick Dale or whatever you want, it just is that. It's the sound that you're used to hearing. I think that and the Princeton are the most recorded amps in history, and you just recognize the sound instantly.
Yeah.
I do fancy a Princeton.
Great.
Yeah. The guy who sold it to me had brought with him a 1965 Princeton, but the non-reverb. And because I can hear, I set them up in stereo, and then I cranked the tremolo on both, and then played "How Soon Is Now" by the Smiths, and you had that, you know.
And your neighbours are still reminding you of that.
But that was kind of how they recorded it, and yeah, it sounded incredible. And then the final thing I wanted to share was, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this pedal?
Certainly can.
So
yeah,
this is the aux. It's an aux box, but in a pedal.
The aux stomp.
The stomp, yeah. And when this came out, I said to Paul, I said, why on earth would anybody want one of those? Because I've got an aux box down there. And then I thought, well, actually, if I'm using Tonex, the software and I'm recording, so not so much for live, but if you're recording and you want to really dial in a tone, you can just switch the cabinet off on the software, so you only have the amp, and then using that, if you just take the line level in, you can create pretty much whatever sound you want. With whatever cabinet you want, you can add compression, reverb, whatever, and it sounds fantastic. But the thing I really liked about it was that when you've got the pedal itself, I'm not showing it. Is that showing it properly? So that's that's an SM57. So you can blend that with, say, a Royal 121. That's the room that you can bring in and out. That's the speaker drive, so you can make the speaker drive slightly different. And then it's got like 6 different positions here. So all I've done is I've kind of set it up to have my favorite 6 cabinets with a 57 and a 21, and then you can just blend it as you go. So it's really
great.
It's really cool because you can kind of just sit there like you're using a normal guitar pedal and blend the guitar tone really fast. So
that's great.
Yeah, I thought it was good anyway.
So, yeah, mate. Nice.
So anyway,
nice.
So in the great eternal question of who would buy that, you would.
I did. I didn't think I would, because I said with Tonex, well, you've got it all there. It's like, I mean, your captures are phenomenal. I have to say, yours are probably the best on there. From the ones I've listened to, if you haven't tried any of the Studio Rats captures, then you're missing out. You should, because without wanting to be negative towards anybody, there are captures on there that inevitably are from people that maybe haven't done that sort of thing before, and they don't sound that good, and it can become a bit frustrating scrolling through loads and loads of stuff on ToneNet. Whereas if you just went to an amp that you liked from you guys, then you're just there like that, which is great.
Thanks, mate.
But I suppose the other thing is that when I'm recording, I kind of have my favorite, my favorite cab and my favorite mics, and so I could use, say, your Bassman patch, switch off the amp, and then I can put my own cab in there, and I've got it. I've got the sound that I want.
Yeah, nice.
Can you load those captures onto the Tonex software?
Yeah.
Because that's, I'm asking because I have it free on like GarageBand.
Yeah, you can use
so you can just get the captures.
Absolutely.
There, and then put the cab from somewhere else.
I'm not sure you can load it onto the free version of Tonex. I don't know, maybe.
Well, what you do, this is how you, because I had to actually tell my friend how to do it about 20 minutes ago, is you, on the presets menu, so you've got like the model side, haven't you? And then you've got the presets. When you've got the presets, if you right click on the name of any preset, a menu will drop down and it will say upload, and that's where you do it. And then when you press that, you just go to your folder on your computer with the Studio Rats preset, and you upload, and there it is.
Cool.
Nice.
I'll have a look
there we go.
So, it is, I mean, so they really have nailed it with Tonex.
I think it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's probably.
I still love the real thing, but I mean, if I was going out to play, I would probably take the Tonex pedal. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Thanks ever so much.
Cheers, Matt.
Amazing job as ever. Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Buddy. Enjoy the amp. Enjoy the amp, mate. Take care.
I will. Bye.
Right.
New amps, new gear is always fun.
By the way, I've noticed that I don't know, the signal kept dropping out, and I don't know if that's because we've got 4 people on. I don't know. So
shouldn't be. It seems to be all right for me.
No, okay. It might just
I'm not
be
saying,
me. Okay.
Not saying that's the solution, but right. Let's keep going. Boom.
0 bytes 2000. Sup, guys. Sup, 0 bytes 2000. Mod scientists, pups make a difference. Pickups make a difference, but this argument was that under high gain. There's not much of a difference. is what he said exactly. Yeah, under high gain, definitely less and less difference, without doubt.
Yeah.
High gain takes away character of everything.
Mhm.
Well, an active pickup with an internal preamp is always going to sound different than passive pickups. Yes, it will.
Yep, absolutely.
Nectarius, evening rats. I've been connecting my Focusrite 2i2 to my Logitech PC speakers, and everyone tells me I should get some studio monitors. Is there a day and night difference regarding audio quality? Yes, definitely, between your Logitech's PC speakers. Yeah. Whether you'll be able to mix as well on them is different. If you're used to those Logitech PC speakers and you like the sound of it, then use them, I would say.
I think it was Bob Clearmountain, who obviously, you know, back in the day, everyone used NS10s because they did.
Yeah.
But Bob Clearmountain said he was really upset when Apple discontinued their desktop speakers. And these are from like the 80s, because he said they were my reference monitor. If it sounded good on these particular Apple desktop speakers, then the mix was going to work. So while I agree completely that you want a good set of flat response monitors, actually sometimes it's the grot, if mixing through a grot box, if you make it sound great on that, you'll make it sound great, it will sound great anywhere. Yeah,
definitely. Johnny Love says, James, I've just registered with Guardian Hoogate Auctions just in case something takes my fancy. Is the bidding process pretty straightforward? Cheers. The added charge is 26.4%, I think. That's the sting for me.
It is. Yes, the bidding process is simple. You bid and stop when you've spent too much. Or in my case, just keep spending anyway.
Yeah.
And
keep going, yeah.
Yes, the buyers, I think buyer's premium is technically, I thought it was 22.5%, of which some of that is VAT and some of that is obviously their charges. So if you're VAT registered, you can claim some of it back. But yeah, you know, you're looking at a quarter on top again. So beware. You know, keep that as the maths in your head while you're bidding. I try to and forget miserably.
Mod Scientist says, Paul, is that an EMG in your telly bridge or lace? No, it's neither. It's a twisted telly in that, I think. No, I haven't got any active pickups. I'm trying to think. No, I've got no active. Oh, actually, my bass is active pickups. Is there? I think so. I think the bass is active. But that's it.
Nice.
Paul Gardner says, on the fence, buying an HX Stomp XL gives me a bunch of FX plus a tuner to clear some space on the board. Also, option to go ampless if needed. If not Stomp, what would you recommend? With all the effects.
As a Helix user, I've the XX Stomp XL is a great in between to put like in a board with other pedals, because it has the smaller footprint of just being like the top or bottom row where you can have everything, and more pedals than the HX Stomp just by itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I don't think there's anything for that sort of price that does that. I mean, I'd say have a look at like a Newell DSP Core Cortex or something, but the price difference is massive.
Yeah,
double
It's
at
in
least.
the same sort of price of like a used Boss GT1000 or the new Boss GX100, probably. You have experience with those, maybe that's why it was like, you think those are better than that?
No, I just every time I bought, and I used to have a Helix, and I bought a Helix Stomp, the little one, and I just couldn't get on with it. But that was a long time ago. That was when it just came out with the Helix. I had the Helix rack, and yeah, it was yeah. It just, I bet now it's great.
It's just the 3.7 came out as well. The update, they keep updating it. They put a knobbles in the ODR and like a feedbacker that people were asking for a long time. So that's a good thing about Helix, is that they keep updating, unlike some other companies.
Yeah,
and especially the HX family. They haven't updated the Catalyst, for example, but the Helix they do.
Yeah,
nice one.
boom.
Michael says, anyone using Apple M1, 2, or 3 Mac with current Pro Tools? What's the best
Yes.
one for PT? I'm not.
I am running my MacBook M1 2021 16-inch, and it's with 64 gig of RAM, and it's absolutely spot on. I am finding a weird thing. If I have my email client on at the same time and I receive an email, it does stop Pro Tools.
Strange.
Which is very strange, but I think that's more my rig with a million different interfaces rather than a normal thing. But yeah, the M's Pro Tools now is totally happy on Apple Silicon, as far as I can tell. Next,
Breakfast drinks making me jealous. I want a bottle of something in my studio. The only thing is, I think if it was there, I'd just smash it, and then it wouldn't be good.
That's why I keep drinking it. I have water, but it's like
when I
right
say
here
smash,
now. I want to go get it.
Yeah.
Can you leave sweets? You know, if there's a tray, like a bowl of sweets, can you leave one? Because I can't. I it's gone. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't leave anything. Mod Scientist says sounds like a Dynacomp.
The Dynacomp.
What's that?
I think this comment by Mod is referring still to Sultans of Swing.
Yeah.
He used Dan Armstrong Orange Squeezer. Oh, look at that. That tone is squished on Sultans. Sure is.
Yeah.
Shahar, he says, saw WVH yesterday. Kid can play. He was backed by 2 of the guitarists. He can.
He really can.
He can. He's great. Yeah, I mean, he should be. He's got the DNA in him, isn't he? So he should be able to play.
Yeah.
He probably came out
in cases of children of famous people that completely disregards the talents of their parents. But in this case, Wolfgang does seem like a really cool dude as well.
He popped out and he could have played Eruption, I reckon.
That's how I play Eruption in my mind.
It's like Dweezil Zappa, isn't it? You know, another one of the children of rock and roll legends.
I still can't get anything from Frank. I don't get any Frank Zappa stuff. Can't get my head around it. Can't understand why people like it, but
quick move on.
Yes, move on. Tony says, cheers from Ratland. I hear there will be a Spinal Tap 2. I heard this being filmed in 2024. Premise being the new owner of the contract noticed the band owes one more concert. Oh, awesome. That'd be awesome.
That'd be hilarious.
I haven't seen it for years. I need to watch it. It's so good.
It is such a good film.
I know I'd watch it with the wife and she'd just be going, it's not funny. I don't get it.
I don't know. I still think it is, you know, it's top 5 music films.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. Simon Carpenter says, why not put a caster direct in DAT these days? Why not put a caster direct in DAT?
Well, DAT, I'm guessing digital audio tape. It's the caster. Caster. I'm not sure. I think Simon is being funny, but I think we might.
Yeah. I bet it's a brilliant gag. And I just need it explained to me.
It's like most jokes for you, mate.
Fair enough. Mod Scientist, don't forget the YouTube compression algorithm. On the side, it feels different. On this side of the monitor, it feels different to tell. I'm sort of used to it now. I'm so used to the way that YouTube sounds.
They have improved it a lot. You know, when I first started doing videos, I know we said that I am 1,000 years old, and clearly I made the first YouTube video. But when we first started putting music out on YouTube, it did sound pretty ropey.
Yeah.
And it sounds a lot better now. You can watch a concert quite happily on YouTube or a video and go, it's fine.
Yeah.
And especially because they have increased as well the quality that you can upload to YouTube, like with the 1080p, 4K, 8K even. So
yeah.
And with that comes improved audio quality. So
exactly.
Ben, he says, I asked this a while back, but never went back and looked at the bands everyone suggested. What are some good guitar, prominent jazz fusion artists? Most stuff I find seems mostly horns and piano.
John
You're asking the
McLaughlin.
wrong people here. You're asking the wrong person with me.
John McLaughlin. Pat Metheny. You've got to put in Mike Landau. You know, the California set. I'm going to say, John Schofield, because he is a legend. Just ask him to turn the chorus down a bit, John. That will start you on a YouTube tumble cycle into jazz fusion guitar players. That'd be a good place to start.
There we go. Good luck, Ben. Mod says that's part of Glenn's shtick, Vinny.
Yeah. Everyone's got their thing, haven't they? Everyone's got their angle.
Yeah.
What's our angle, Paul? Actually, move on.
Grunge, he says, are you guys going to try the Hoto new Pulse as desktop plastic amp? Looks interesting. Yeah, it does look interesting. No, I don't think Hotone or Hot One like us very much.
Or Hot Tone, like I think you're supposed to say, but sure.
Is it Hot Tone?
Yeah.
Well, it's only one T, mate. I'm English.
Yeah,
I've got to pronounce
they should just spell it correctly. I know, but
It's Hotone. It's definitely Hotone in my world.
Mod says the Relic haters are out there. Just do your thing, Relic or otherwise. Absolutely. Thomas says, hello, rats. Hello, Thomas.
The Relic haters does sound like some kind of terrible 70s sitcom, doesn't it?
Good band.
it's
Good
like
band. Good
instead
band.
of going buying
K-Sharp
in shops, it's hating them.
K-Sharp said that's the first time I've ever seen a burst Les Paul with a gold finish over it. Is it true to realistic? Did Gibson do this? No, so that wasn't a Gibson. That was a rock and roll Relic. But underneath, gold tops are flame maple and yeah. It's maple. It's a maple cap, and it was just. I don't even know why they did gold finishes. Maybe for television,
or because it's fancy.
I don't even know what the reason. Yeah, maybe. But yeah. Underneath a proper sort of 50s gold top should be a stripy maple.
But were they like, because we know that Fender painted over sunbursts, right? But I think the question was more like, did they ever do this with like bursts? They were not selling bursts because the bursts were not very well received at the time. Do we know if they ever painted gold over the sunburst to try sell guitars, and then later on it started to fade and to have that process?
Yeah. Sorry, Rafa, you're breaking up, but I just say that again. I think I know what you said, but
I was just saying.
Go.
If Gibson ever did paint gold over already finished sunbursts to try to resell them, a bit like Fender did with custom colors.
Oh, basically, no, I don't think. I only think that. No, Fender did it. Fender did it because Fender did the custom shops with the paint over, because every guitar that came from America was sunburst. So, and then when they came into the UK, people wanted different colors on them, so they took them to a car finisher and they resprayed. So Gibson, I don't know if it's actually sunburst, but that one wasn't sunburst, was it? I don't think. I mean, underneath, but underneath, if you wore away a gold top, and if you see it sometimes, like a really old gold top, if you wear it away, you'll see the maple under top, and sometimes the paint sinks into the maple, and you can see the flame.
Nice.
Mod scientists, guitarists, such a conscientious bunch. Oh yes, he's here. He said it himself.
Sorry, I'm gonna click.
David says, "What are the thoughts on string retainer bars?" Oof, don't even get me started. And why are they necessary? I have one fitted on my Tokai Strat, which doesn't spoil the look of the guitar too much, in my honest opinion. But considering fitting a string tree, fit string trees, they look so much better. That was my bugbear with the new PRS John Mayer dead spec one.
Yeah, it looked horrendous.
I like the Reverend string tree that goes over 3 strings, the higher 3.
Yeah. That works well. I don't know what, James. Are you going through Wi-Fi or are you hardwired?
I'm hardwired, and it's you that's freezing because I've still got Rafa. Anyway,
okay, we seem to be having connection. Okay,
Oh.
Johnny Love says James comments on nuts. James's comments are nuts.
Fair enough.
Yes, everyone knows that.
Cheers.
Charles. Electric Owl works. It's not quite single mortal clock here.
That was one of the really good things about traveling,
Start
doing a European trip this weekend. I could hit duty free on the way home.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, nice. Hollywood says, howdy y'all. Anyone seen the latest Leon Todd video on the JCM 800 modeler comparison? Really interesting. And I could tell the Helix for sure always has this high-end fizz. That's sort of what you were talking about with your
Catalyst.
catalyst.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
LC Papa?
Yeah.
Al,
Yeah. I'll see
hi,
Sepia.
guys. Hello, mate. How's it going? I'll Sepia, maybe. Hollywood. By the way, Ace Effects sounds best to me on the Leon Todd JCM 800 video. Ace Effects.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I was wondering if the Maybach Stradivari mod project is still on, if it went to the dumpster. It went to the dumpster, mate, I'm afraid. Absolute shocking guitar.
What? I missed. What? A Maybach that's not good. What happened?
It was terrible. It was. I bought a Maybach to do some videos on, and yeah, it was just a bad guitar. It was heavy.
Wow.
It was
really hard.
Really hard to play. Pickups were crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really disappointing. K Sharp, yeah, the high end like fizz always gives it away. Helix, everyone says that about Helix.
Yeah, I can tell you what it is. If they haven't changed it yet, they need to. I was this was going back a few years now. All their speaker models, the microphones are dead center of the cone, the cap,
and the high end cut is too high. All my Helix presets I go and I cut it at like 5K, which maybe it's too much, but for me, I like it like that. So whenever it's playing through speakers or headphones or PA that I have here, you don't hear that fizz as pronounced. But if you're comparing apples to apples, I guess that's fine. But yeah, I do find it that it's like there's a high-end content there that's really annoying.
Yep. Right, we'll have one more, then we'll do the news.
Oh, the news. Sojung, hi from Korea. Love your videos. They are really great. Cheers, Sojung. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to leave you to do the news. Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Cheers, mate. Well, good to see you. You take care, yeah?
I'll keep watching that. Yeah, bye-bye.
Right, news time. Share the screen. That one.
Boom.
Right, a few bits. I don't know what's going on with this. These definitely not my thing, but so a brazen new model designed for the progressive guitarist seeking a spectrum of sound beyond the norm. Charvel gets in on the made in Japan hype with the new Super Strat inspired MJ Sandemus models.
Sorry, all those words you said suggested a new looking guitar.
It's hyperbole for a guitar that is. I don't know if they're. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of single hum guitars anyway. But it's $2,000, and I don't like the look of it. I don't. Hold on, did that have a? It bloody has as well. Look.
Yep.
Bloody hell! What is going on?
They just different.
What's that?
They don't look any different. They just look like the same stuff that Charvel have been chucking out for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Oh, these look great. So this is a new Gibson limited edition 59. I mean, look at. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on.
Oh,
Does that zoom in if I do that? It does, doesn't it?
it does, yeah.
Look at that. They look great, don't they?
Can you stop? I'm having a crisis.
I know. So Brazilian rosewood. Oh man, I'd love one of those. But do you know how much they are? Have a guess.
One, they are 10 grand.
20 grand.
I was going to go 20, but I thought, no, they won't be 20,000 quid.
It's like Gibson are just pushing the price. They keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Is anybody
really are pushing them? Huh?
Is anybody buying them?
Yeah, I think rich people. I think Gibson are moving into that sort of PRS territory where people are buying them to hang on walls, and rich people are that's their guitar, and it goes on the wall and it comes off when they want to play it, but it goes back on the wall.
So sad.
I think Gibson are just getting into that. They've seen how well PRS have done with their wood library and their private stock and all that sort of stuff. And I think they're just moving into more and more of that territory. I think that's hideous. This new Japanese only Telecaster. I don't like that at all. Couple of pedals, yeah. Blah blah blah. Right, Jimmy Page. So we've
talked about these amps before, haven't we? These Sun Dragon amps.
This is a Super Dragon. Sun Dragon. Oh, okay. So Sun Dragon. The thing is, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I'm going to say something quite controversial. I know Jimmy Page did a lot back then, and he's obviously an icon, and people love Led Zeppelin stuff. But it's almost like I just don't see. I mean, he's not a relevant artist anymore, is he? He's not really playing very much anymore, is he?
I mean, don't get me wrong. One of those amps. I mean, this is one of those things that Steve and I were talking about. He said he's had a couple of these come through studios in LA, like Capitol, and they've sounded incredible. I said, but who the hell can afford one? Because they are not cheap. The half stack is a serious ton of cash.
Is it? I don't know much about them.
An arm and a freaking leg.
Is it?
Yeah, the 1x12 combo was about 15 grand.
What?
From what I remember,
it
was a lot of money.
I mean, that's ridiculous. So this is based on a modified Marshall.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I wouldn't. The thing is, he's fantastic. He's a fantastic guitar player, but he's not a guitar player that you see around playing much anymore. And surely they would have picked. I mean, I understand why Slash is doing amps. I get it. But Jimmy Page,
the Sun. So there's no. They haven't updated their website yet. The limited edition Sun Dragon amp, the 1x12, is $12,500.
That's bonkers.
So I don't remember how much the half stack is, but I know you're going to be selling a kidney or a small child.
Well, they're debuting it at NAMM.
Well,
they're not. No, yes they are. Yeah, that's what it says.
Let's go and have a look.
Yeah. I like these. Fender Japan Sparkle Telecaster with black top Filtertron pickups.
Nice.
I think they look quite cool.
Yeah.
I like them. I like that. I like that one.
Yeah.
The
gray looks quite good as well.
The silver, that one.
Yeah, any of those look quite passable.
Yeah. I don't know what 160,000 yen ish. I don't know what that equates to
in Western money, but
and James, can you give us the theme tune?
It's time for a Harley Benson moment of the week.
So, Harley Benton, I think this is genius, and we've got a guitar coming from actually Rafa put me onto them. Bulk Guitars are sending over a guitar to build, but Harley Benton are doing it now. So yeah, basically you get all the parts and then you can shape the body to whatever you want. I think that's
so
going to end up a nightmare.
Literally, if you were so lazy, you could do the whole Bo Diddley square guitar thing, and that'll be it.
Yeah. I reckon that's what some people are going to do. They're just going to stick it together and go, that'll do.
Gang, 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 gang. That'd be great.
Awesome stuff.
But, you can get shaped ones as well.
What's that?
You can get shaped ones as well.
Yeah, but I think that's fun. I bet that's fun. I reckon that's going to be horrendous. But anyway, it is. How much are they?
$137. It's
a lot. That's a bit of fun, isn't it? That's a good Christmas present to keep. Keep
Grandad busy, isn't it? Grandad. So little Johnny wants a guitar. There's a kit. Here you go. Here, have a bottle of brandy.
Yeah. Booze and soldering irons don't really work well. Anyway, all done.
Wow. Oh. Right. Boom.
Fender 1960 says, "Hey guys, if you get a chance, you need to look up wonderful audio technology." What? Fuzzland pedal. It's so good. One of the most versatile I've ever used. Nice one. Thanks for the tip.
Cool.
Mod Scientists, West Virginia, USA here. You guys are definitely great. Awesome demos and reviews. Always transparent and honest. Oh, thanks, mate.
We have our moment. Thank you.
K Sharp, somebody already bought that Heartbreaker 59, threw it up on Reverb already for 5,100. Or is that 5,100? Good gosh, just buying and reselling. Oh, I see. Oh, right.
All right.
Wow. I think it's what? Hold on, is that already gone?
What's the Heartbreaker? Is that Rock and Roll
Relic? Maybe something's going on with them that I don't know, but I don't know much about them. I did. I'll send them out an email. See if we can review one of them.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Michael P says, "Congratulations on 75,000, young man. Cheers, mate."
Thank you, buddy.
Paul Gardner says, "Black Friday bargain for me. Morgan JF12. Nice one. That's a Josh
Very
Smith.
nice.
12 amp. Nice." Electric Gal Works. He says, "The Studio Rats. Hope to see Jivey and everyone at Now again. I think Liz Shaw is organising another get together for pints." Nice.
Do you know what? Yes. Lidge and Matt and us will all end up in that hotel bar that's near enough to the NAMM convention to be a walk, but not so close that you can't stand a chance of getting a drink.
Oh God, so expensive, isn't it, NAMM as well?
Yes, but hey.
Mod Scientist says Catalyst was late to the game.
It certainly was.
It did come in late.
It was a game that Katana had already won as well.
Yeah. Jim says, "Do you guys think the new Positive Grid FR speaker cable will be good?" Oh, excuse me. For most modelling floor units, I wouldn't like to say because I don't know much about it.
But if it's a
standard FR, it'd be fine, I'm sure.
And it's probably no offense to Positive Grid, but it's probably an OEM of someone's floor monitor that's just a broadband speaker, so it's probably fine.
Yes. Rafa, he talked about fizz high end on the Catalyst. I always feel the line 6 have that fizz character. That's my experience. See, lots of people are saying that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rumi says, Rumi's 199. Thank you. Rats, any experience with Maxon's OD Pro 820? You've got a Maxon. I don't know which one you've got.
No, I've got the RTS 800. I've tried most of the Maxon stuff, and it's all great because it's built like it's bomb proof.
Yes, it's good stuff.
So yeah, I haven't tried that particular one, but if you like the tone of it, I would say you won't be disappointed. It's not going to. It's not going to let go after a couple of weeks or anything like that. So
no. Shahar, he says, Paul, ever had a finicky G string that won't stay in tune? Gibson Les Paul in my case. Any possible solutions that worked in the past? If I go and buy, if I go and test out a Les Paul, if I go and test out any Gibson guitar, that's one of the first things that I check. There is a solution for it. There is a solution.
Pencil graphite rubbed in the nut.
Well, yeah, that's definitely the let's try that first of all.
Yep.
But yeah, looking at pencil, yeah, rub the pencil in it, and that the graphite from the pencil makes it slicker. There is. Do you know who was talking about it the other day? Was Phil McKnight from Know Your Gear? Yeah. He said something about how to deal with it. I can't remember what it was. Might be worth. Phil does a live show as well on a Friday, I think. Might be worth asking the question there because he will definitely be able to.
Very knowledgeable chap.
Yeah, very knowledgeable man. Hollywood says at 92 watches creeping up to 100. 94 at the moment.
We had 98 earlier on. And I thought we might just pump 100, but not right now.
We've done it a few times.
Yeah.
Hollywood says, Matt, that's amazing. The courage to do YouTube videos and be consistent and then hit 1,000 subs. That's fantastic. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, to get to 1,000 takes a long time and a lot of work. Davor says, hello, Rats. Hello, Davor. Johnny Love. He said, just sub to Matt's channel. Nice. Pet says, nice one, Matt. Congrats. Nice one, Matt, said Michael. Frank Zappa. Oh, I'm gonna get some Zappa hate, aren't I? I'm gonna get some Zappa hate. Paul, listen to Peaches and Regalia Zappa. There's no way you won't like it. It will surprise you. Okay, I'll give it a go. I think I've just heard the stupid songs. The songs that are just a little bit joking. I don't really get humor in music.
A lot of Zappa is quite light-hearted.
It's just a bit weird.
I mean, my favourite ones are things like Catholic Girls and Pajama People because they are a bit bonkers and a bit. It's just funny.
You're not really selling it to me, are you, mate?
No.
Michael says, listen to Roxy and elsewhere. New York, make jazz noise here. Best band you never heard. Apostrophe. One size fits all. If this won't get you into Zappa, nothing probably will. Well, I'll try it. I'll give it a go.
What a great shout. Just try and avoid the albums where he sings.
Oh, God.
It's a bit like, I mean, I learned to love Eric Johnson's voice just through having to, but Frank Gambale singing is not pretty.
Hollywood says, saw a video which I think they did gold top finishes, the high tops that weren't very good. Interesting.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I'm sure there were definitely some of them. Guitar man, Wayne Osmond. I'm guessing jazz fusion, maybe. I don't know. I don't know Wayne Osmond.
Yeah, no, me neither.
David says, I hear Nigel's latest invention is a capo for an amp modeler. This be good. Oh, I saw something like that. Isn't there something? Yes, didn't he do some interview where he was saying that, and it was like some sort of jokey interview. Anyway, Rafa, tell James it was my little joke to James because he did his analogy with peanuts earlier.
Okay.
Peanut.
Yeah, I wanted something completely off left center, and it didn't. It kind of backfired. So I'm sorry. I'll stop.
It's all good. Electric Outworks guitarist Bill Connors released a tasty fusion album back in 1990 titled "Step It" with Tom Kennedy and Dave Weckl. Worth a listen.
The guy, of course, that didn't get a mention, and I have to now add him, is Alan Holdsworth. You know, if you want probably and many of the guitarists on planet Earth right now would probably say one of the greatest guitarists to ever live.
I don't get it though. I mean, I didn't. Too many notes. Too weird for me. Fantastic guitar player. Left just before being that. Sorry. There we go. Chemical P, gold tops were the original color. It was only later, 57 or 58, that the figured maple come into being. Interesting. Ned, Gibsons are pushing the price, maybe just to see how dumb people are. Maybe. I wonder. It's all investment, though, isn't it? If you know, if you buy, like, Gibson brought out the pearly gates.
Yeah,
they were expensive, and now pearly gates are what, 30 grand, 35 grand. You can pick one up for used, obviously.
I love the fact that we go 30, 35 grand. Like we'll pop out get one tomorrow.
Yeah, not a chance, but
wow.
Mark says hello from Reunion Island. It's a French island. Wow,
certainly is.
Is that Reunion? Isn't that like Mauritius way?
I believe so. Yeah, it's in the Indian Ocean, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Lovely part of the world.
Lovely. Hollywood says 20k for a Les Paul. Okay, a Murphy Lab, but 20k sounds expensive and doesn't mean it's better than a US Les Paul standard. That's not why you should try. That's where you should try before you buy that for that price. Yeah.
But I think that's the case of all guitars. We've said so many times that you can get a really good Squier Strat. The 80s Squiers were amazing guitars. You get them now and they can be very hit and miss. But that's also true of, normal run Fenders, normal run Gibsons, whatever a normal run is these days, because they've all got a fancy title or a fancy tagline after them. I'm always very worried about buying guitars online. Always, just because you can get such a steal, but you can.
I buy. I'm trying to think if.
I know you do.
I've only got two guitars that weren't bought online.
Yeah, I'd say I find it difficult. I've done it for auctions, but only for cheap guitars.
Michael says, good thing about 12. Is that $12,000 amps?
12 grand amp, yeah.
Is that you don't have to buy one. Hollywood, 160,000 yen is around £850. So those Japanese tellies in the news is good for made in Japan. Nice. Who was that guy? What guy? Which one?
Phil popped it because you closed your window at the same time as I did, and Phil popped in briefly.
Oh. Michael says, made in XYZ country doesn't mean much quality is a company decision.
Yeah, genuinely, you're absolutely right. These days, the country of manufacturer has absolutely no effect on the quality of what it is. It's all to do with the machining and the finish and the.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, I think if you go and buy, there's a certain level that you expect from an American-made instrument. Yes,
but I don't think saying, "Oh, it was made in China," guarantees it will be a cheap guitar, or it was made in Indonesia.
That's
what I'm suggesting. The location of it. Yes, if it's an American-made guitar, you would hope, infer it would be a quality instrument. But just saying it was made in Indonesia now doesn't mean it's going to be a pile of matchwood.
No, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I don't make many, clearly not tonight, but
Gary Simmons just blew the dust off a 10-plus-year-old Zoom G3X multi-effect and dialed in a pretty decent sound JCM 800 preset as a backup for my Helix. He'll probably live at our practice room, pleasantly surprised. Nice one.
Yep.
Great.
I really hope that Evan is talking about stuff to put to ease your nuts.
Nut sauce. There we go. Yeah, nut sauce is that's and I think nut sauce can definitely work, but I've never found it any better than pencil lead.
Right.
Try winding the G string from the bottom to the top. Makes a straighter single angle, and is less likely to get snagged up in the nut. Try winding the G string from the bottom.
So
I see.
Wind that way. Wind backwards.
From the bottom
That would
to the
fry
top.
my brain for tuning.
That would fry my brain. No. What they mean is, as opposed to winding the string on top, pushing down, you're doing the opposite. Hold on.
At this point, stand by your beds, boys and girls.
Hold on a second. This is big time. Forget everyone else. This is big time.
Right. Are you ready? Are you ready now?
I'm too excited.
Do you feel you've bigged him up enough?
I think so.
Look, he's even got the pose on, waiting to come on. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lee Abraham.
Big time.
How are we doing, chaps?
All right, mate. Yourself?
Yeah.
We definitely are.
Good. So you were talking about the cost of guitars, a topical subject, of course. Particularly those Charvels, I was interested to see in the news there, and this just instantly brings me to just show you this, which I told you about, Paul, but you know.
Oh, see, look at that. That looks like that Charvel. I mean,
Exactly.
if it had the 5 rows on it.
Exactly.
Look at that.
What is it? Truth be told, it probably came out of the same factory.
Possibly. Has it got a made in? Oh, God,
no, those Charvels were Japanese, I think.
I think it says Indonesia. I think.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
but certainly.
Is it any good?
It's great. It is genuinely great, and I took it to a mate who's doing setups and things, and he takes a lot of time and a lot of pride in his setups. You know, he's really good, and it's perfect. It plays absolutely perfect. He's set all the, you know, when I went to pick it up, he was like, I'm not sure how high you have your action normally, but what I've done, and he starts getting the little metal slide rulers out, and he starts going, what I've done is that down here it's 1.2 millimeters from that fret, but up here it's, and I'm glazing over, just going, let's have a go. Yeah, it's perfect, mate. Thanks very much.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Is he a local guy?
Yeah, he lives in Fareham, just down the road. Yeah, he's another guitarist on the local circuit. That's how I know him.
Right.
So, but yeah, he's fantastic. And those Charvels, what were they? $2,000.
Yes.
That was 200 quid.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And truth be told, 98.7% of your audience couldn't give a monkey's what it says on the headstock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
those three guitarists stood there at the back by the bar going like that. They're going, he's playing a Harley Benton. Yeah, I know he's playing a Harley Benton. Playing one of them Harley Benton.
Drink up, we're leaving.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was interesting what Vinny was saying earlier. I'm not sure whether this was his point or not, because I just joined the show at that point. But when he was saying about, you know, when you come to the end of the chain, as it were, in the recording chain, does it, you know, and you've got your finished song, which has been mixed and it's been mastered, or whatever you do with your songs, will you really notice that guitar rhythm guitar part was played on a £200 Harley Benton or a £2,000 Charvel?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I've made that argument about modelers. You know, when the 11 rack first came out, I said categorically 99% of guitar parts you could play through that thing and no one would know the difference. The one big solo, yes, you might want to put a mic in front of a cab.
Yeah.
But for most of the rest of the tracks, that thing will do a perfectly sensible job.
Yeah. One thing I was going to mention, it might be very quickly, it might not be, depends what your view is. But I don't know if you saw that John Cordy video that he released earlier this afternoon, where he was talking about hype around the UA pedals. And
Well, he made a really interesting point, which I really subscribe to, and that is in terms of modelling and profiling, capturing, modelling, whatever you want to call it. Do we think now that we're probably at terminal velocity? It's not going to get any better. It's as good as it's ever going to get now.
I reckon probably, yeah.
I think it will get faster. So, for example, the Tonex processing element, which currently takes about two hours or so, will eventually be 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, Max will sort that out as Max get quicker and faster.
But you'd be surprised, actually. I mean, Paul and I have done Tonex captures on, Intel M1 and M2. And although there is theoretically quite a big power bump between those three machines, Tonex processing time, not so much.
Right. Yeah, and I think Lee's talking about the actual tones as opposed to...
Yeah. I know, but at the moment, that's the only thing that we've got as a credible measure. Because...
the thing that John Cordy was talking about was he was talking about the Lion pedal, which he says is great. But he said it doesn't sound any. He compared it against the Friedman, and he said it doesn't really sound a lot different. It's not blowing me away. So he said we've kind of reached this point now where everything sounds great. Doesn't matter what you buy, everything sounds great. So perhaps the manufacturers need to concentrate on something else. And what he was talking about, especially with the Lion pedal, is in this Lion pedal, what is the use of having 3 different Marshalls in this pedal? He said, what I'd really want is a really nice Fender, a really nice Marshall, and then a really nice something else.
He's got a point. That's a really good point. I think if Universal Audio released a pedal where you could choose, even if you bought a license or the download, so you could have 3 different, exactly, like you'd have a Vox, a Fender, and a Marshall. But that's not their thing. They're...
That could be called the triple threat, couldn't it? That would be the ultimate gigging pedal.
Yeah,
but hold on, I don't know why I've come. Oh, there we go. Their business model is to try and get everyone to buy 3 versions of those pedals. They're not stupid,
absolutely.
Are they?
Yeah, well, absolutely. But there are kind of other things that they could do, like with the Humble Tonex. We'll have to start calling it the Humble Tonex now. There's so many other things coming out, Friedmans and Lions and things, but. I really hope with the Tonex that they really give us some really good updates for it. Like, including, you might say to me, oh no, they can't do that because of X, Y, and Z. But, could we have a delay in it, for instance? Could we have because they put reverb in it. So there must be some kind of processing algorithm to put delay in it, or maybe even some modulations like chorus or...
It's the same chip. I mean, I'm sure you could put everything. You could have a choice of what you want to put. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll just come up with a bigger unit, and you can just have whatever you want.
Well,
I think that's
Tonex effects would be the next one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got your Tonex modeler with a reverb. You've already got a reverb, but a more powerful reverb, a delay, a modulation, and then there could be Tonex effects plus with some control and stuff.
Oh, can we talk about this, because I forgot to talk about it? So, so these came out last Thursday, so I couldn't talk about them last week. So the new Boss 50th anniversary pedals.
Nice. They look great.
They've got gold knobs on, apparently, haven't they?
Yeah, they got gold knob, and then it's a different colorway, but I thought the Super Overdrive looks brilliant. I've got to say, I always thought that was my favorite Boss pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Super Overdrive, I way prefer it to the Blues Driver. And not a massive fan of the DS1, but that's just like a personal preference. It's great. It's just not my sort of thing. But Super Overdrive, and I love the colours, especially that one.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. No, so I was just getting back to that John Cordy thing. So, I think, and I agree with him that, the manufacturers ought to maybe, concentrate less on constantly trying to refine a perfect amp tone, because I think we're probably there now, and concentrate more on how to make the product multi-use, you know, for the gigging guitarist, I guess.
The problem is multi-use equals one purchase.
Yeah, totally.
And as much as I'm a guitar player, I do understand where they're coming from, because they need to sell product. They need to make money, and they need to keep shareholders and investors happy. And while it's funny, the closest thing I think we're going to never get to the one size fits all amp is the Blue Guitar Amp X.
Right. This mythical thing.
This mythical thing that's been seen, but you know, it was rumored to be a thing, and then I saw it at NAMM in April, and most of it didn't work, and it was a beta firmware, and you know, it's one of those things that clearly the ideas and the functionality are there, and you know, and the process is there. It's just a really difficult thing to nail down.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway,
and is there then the business model for it? Because if it's, you know, it could be the greatest thing in the world, but if it's a gazillion pounds, no one's going to buy it.
Yeah. But would they sell
Whereas
more?
buying 3 or 4 pedals for 300 quid.
Yeah. But would they, if it was a catch-all sort of product, would they sell more of them? Maybe. I don't know.
But they're only going to sell it one to every guitar player. So let's say every guitar player, they're going to sell one for the rest of time. When I bought that drum kit, my Sonar, I said to the guy at the shop, I said, I want you to sell me the last drum kit I'm ever going to buy from you. And he went, I can't sell you that. You're one of my best customers. and he had he knew what I meant, and I knew what he meant.
And your wife was stood behind you going, just do it.
the irony, of course, it is the last drum kit he ever sold me, because that shop's now no longer exists, which is such a massive shame. But you know, no company is going to make the thing that's going to cause them to go out of business.
Right, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it myself. Anyway, are you getting the UA Lion? Has it arrived yet?
The what? Sorry,
the UA Lion.
James has got it, and he's sending it down to me.
Yeah,
okay. I was just going to say, because Mr. Cordy is selling his, and he said in the video, if anyone wants it, hit me up and I'll do you a good deal.
Oh, it's here. It's here. It's on its way to Paul's tomorrow.
Right, cool.
Yeah,
right. Nice one, chaps.
Good to see you, mate.
Over and out. Those are the results from Southampton. Over and out.
See you, mate.
Let's power on and get through some of these. Where were we? We were there about. We were there. Go.
Joe Marshall, guys. Filtertrons in a Strat, bridge and neck, normal pickup in the middle, and if so, can they be coil splits so that position 2 can still do the Strat thing? I don't know if Filtertrons.
Can you? Yeah, I don't think you can tap a Filtertron, can you? Unless they're particular winding.
It might be best to speak to what's his name? He makes a really good Filtertrons. You know.
No, I don't.
TV Jones.
Right.
Ned says, "Well, I've got my Jet 350 BK Telestyle guitar. It's really good for the money. Beats a Squire 40 anniversary by a lot. Nice one." Yeah. Jeff says the EVH 5150 iconic 40 watt combo looks interesting. Have you tried one? I haven't. The reviews on YouTube all seem to be detuned metal, although I'm hoping it's just like the old PV high gain amp. I think Wolfgang is actually playing them. The new ones. It sounds pretty good to me.
I'd like a 5150. I know you'd hate it, but I'd like one.
I don't hate it. That's just a one trick pony to me. Al says, absolutely gutted. I'm not going to make Winter NAMM in January. Touring dates are crossing over. Looks like I'll be going to Summer NAMM instead in Nashville. Anyone been to the summer one? No, I really fancy going to the summer one.
I really fancy summer one, but it might not be next year for me. I might be skinned by then. I'm getting a certain amount of spousal pressure for a kitchen.
Ah, there you go. Ned says Zappa, Albums Waka, Joaka, and the Grand Walzo. See, you're not selling it with those names, are you? Pet says maybe if you try to Zappa a bit out there, Paul, maybe you should listen to Captain Beefheart instead. Oh God, is it like that?
Yep, some might say.
Ned says Zappa albums Waka Joaka, the Grand Wazo amazing, Overnight Sensation, and One Size Fits All are great. They are joke songs, but such amazing musicianship. I don't know if I could listen to it. Listen to Dweezil and 2005 live double album Return of the Son of. That was my intro into Zappa. It's just an amazing collection of songs, all live too. Shahar, yeah, who was that guy and why wasn't he wearing pants? Long Dong Silver. Brilliant. What's everyone's favourite nut? I could eat cashews all day. Mate, you're not wrong there.
Pistachios. Pistachios.
Pistachios. I love pistachios. I love all nuts, but pistachios just take too long to.
No, it slows me down. It's that, you know, that whole thing I said about there's a bowl there. I'd eat the whole thing. Yeah. At least with a pistachio, there's a bit of effort, you know.
Oh, do you know what I love as well? I mean, I do. I definitely cashews. Definitely my favourite. Five Guys. You go into Five Guys and go and get some of their salted peanuts still in the shell. Oh,
yeah. Five Guys. There's 30 quid per person for not very much food. Well, it's a lot of food, but it's you know what I mean.
Rafa says this past week rewatched Lee and Paul's video on the Jet 450. Nice. Good guitar that. Mississippi says, Paul, do you use MIDI much on your pedal board? I have Morningstar MC60 Pro en route. I've got MIDI. I've got a few pedals that are MIDI, but no. It's only because I haven't taken this board out live. I would definitely take it out live. I used to use MIDI all the time. I used to have a big rack, MIDI switches and stuff. And
welcome to the 80s, folks.
90s, but yeah, definitely. Rafa, which one do you like more, the Harley Benton or the Jet? That's the Lee. The Lee will have to answer that next week.
Yeah.
Harley Benton's a good man. I have a few. There we go. Shep says, ship arriving too late to save a drowning witch. Zappa is a nod as good as a wink to a blind horse. The Face is a great album and worth a listen. See, none of these titles are selling it for me. I must listen to that. One tune problem often overlooked can be caused by different tension between the bridge to nut length and nut to machine head length. When turning up, it pays to push the latter up and down to balance. There we go. Go.
Balance.
Cheers, Phil.
Tension.
Balance tension.
Yeah.
Jeff says, Shahar, Les Paul G-string tuning. I can highly recommend the string butler. They look ugly though, don't they? The middle four strings go straight across the nut and then go over to the tuners bar rollers. It works a treat. It does work a treat. It just, I hate the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jeff. I'll give it a shot, says Shahar. John Cordy's become my favourite YouTube guitar guy. Sorry, dudes. His sense of humour is quality and his honesty is commendable. And of course, his playing is unbelievable. Absolutely. Jim, here is what is missing in the modelling world for amps. Is many modelling amps is still digital class D. We need modelling of also the power amp section to sound more tube-like. There we go. Ned, my favourite Zappa songs are Inca Roads, The Slime, and Eat That Question. Dumb All Over isn't musical special, but the lyrics and concept makes it great. To a Dumb All Over, a little ugly on the side.
I don't think any of us are selling this to Paul very much, to be honest.
No, it's not working. Jeff says, Shahar, I'd never had the tuning problem on any Les Paul until I bought a classic custom earlier this year. It was an opportunity to try a string butler, but I did exactly what it says on the box. There we go.
My Les Paul stays in tune so well. I appreciate it.
Sometimes. So does mine. So all the ones, but I've definitely played some that don't.
It's a huge lump of mahogany, but God, it stays in tune.
K-Sharp 10, and they make about 3 different models of the string butler too. Maybe they've done one that doesn't look awful. Blue Amp X says Ned will come out eventually, but Jive is a good point on how much it will cost. More than 1K, maybe upwards of 2K. That's too much, isn't it? That's not going to work. But the Ampex will supposedly have extra stuff that you can buy. Or am I wrong? It might do, yeah. It might do.
No idea.
Gary says, do you ever think that someone will make a pedal that will let you load multiple VST plugins, basically a computer and pedal with a decent foot controller? Yes. I mean, someone's already done that. They did. I can't remember. Do you remember that VST loading rack thing you could buy?
Yeah. What was it
Didn't
called?
work, did it? Don't worry.
No.
Let's get through.
The I/O and the latency, the round trip latency was horrendous.
Right.
Because that was 20 years ago, probably, and we didn't have the technology we have now.
Yeah. Electric Hour works, Gary. That sounds like an interesting Raspberry Pi project. There you go. Finger blasting. I never get on a Wednesday these days, fellas. Good. Glad to catch up. Glad to catch you a bit briefly. Hope you're both well. Channel growing by the day. Cheers, mate. Sorry about going on about Zappos. All right. Summer Nam is much smaller, but it's still worth a visit at least once. I think I'd prefer to do Summer Nam.
I'd like I'd do Nashville.
Yeah. I think Five Guys is named after the number of people that touch your food before they serve it to you.
Nice one.
Mothers of Invention with Flo and Eddie, Turtles, Mud Shark. See? It's nothing selling it. Just trust me, Inca Rose and Dweezil. Okay, I'll stop now. Please don't ban me. Blue makes very cool little amps. He does. Curtis, I have vintage spec Van Dant humbucker. Do you have any experience with this pickup? Thoughts option? Never heard of them, I'm afraid.
I haven't heard of them.
No.
How does it sound?
Yeah, I hope it's great.
We're there.
You're there. Nice.
Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been a wild ride through some turbulent waters this evening, but we got there.
We did got there just about.
Indeed, and we're thus far I think we're intact, which is good. One more coming in last minute.
Have you guys looked at any car amps? No, not. You don't really. I think they sell them in Coda Music. I think you can get them. You rarely see them in the UK, to be honest.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. It's been an absolute blast as always. We'll be back next week with more of the same. Probably, someone will throw a spanner in the works somewhere that will throw something up that's worth talking about. I'm sure. I now have a date with I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here because I'm that sad. But we will see you again next week. Please keep the questions coming in advance. You know where to reach us on the website. Like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. Ring the bell. And we will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Good night.